Imagine two countries, the most heavily guarded border in the world. Soldiers from two enemy nations standing with guns pointed at each other. For decades, there has been nothing but hatred between them. But suddenly, a piece of music rises in the air. Then the guns are lowered, their eyes fill with tears, and they forget their enmity. This is not a scene from a movie. This is the only magical touch that emotionally unites North and South Korea even today. How does a mere song become the entire soul of a nation? Yes, the story we are going to hear today is of that immortal song, Arirang. Let's begin with a story that took place centuries ago. A small Korean village surrounded by mountains. There lived two people who loved each other more than life itself. But one day, due to poverty or some other compulsion, he had to leave her. With tears and a breaking heart, she sang from that mountain slope. Arirang, Arirang, Arario. My beloved is leaving me and crossing the Arirang Pass. May his feet ache before he goes even 10 miles. At first glance, this might sound like a curse, right? But it wasn't a curse. It was the unquenchable desire of a lover, hoping that the pain in his feet would make him stop his journey and return to her. That was a pure love hidden in those lines. Time passed. That girl's love song slowly became the village song, and later, the sorrowful anthem of the entire Korean peninsula. Do you know the reason for this? The lives of Koreans were incredibly tragic. Poverty, wars, harsh weather. There is a word in the Korean language, han. There is no exact translation for this word in any other language in the world. The sorrow experienced across generations, the anger against injustice, the heavy burden carried in the heart, and yet the unyielding desire to survive without giving up. Han is the name they give to all of this combined. When farmers worked backbreakingly in the fields, they sang Arirang in the sweat-scented wind. When mothers put their babies to sleep, it became a lullaby. Thus, every Korean found solace in those lines during any sorrowful phase of their life. They realized that Arirang was not just a mountain pass, but the name of the sorrows and crises they had to overcome in human life. The place of Arirang in history changes at the beginning of 20th century. In 1910, Japan invaded and conquered Korea. Koreans were not allowed to speak their mother tongue or follow their culture. The Japanese army suppressed everything. They became slaves in their own land. At that time, Korean freedom fighters hiding in the forest and mountains sang a song like a secret chord. Yes, Arirang. They expressed the pain of losing their motherland and the determination to win it back through Arirang. The Japanese soldiers couldn't figure out whether this was a love song or a revolutionary song. In the face of guns and cannons, it was a resistance built by the Korean people with a single melody. There, Arirang became a national anthem fused into their blood. Later, Korea gained independence, but fate tested them again. The war in 1950s split Korea in two. Bullets drew a border between people who spoke the same language and shared the same culture. Families were torn apart. However, there was only one thing that even this division could not erase. Years later, at the 2000 Sydney Olympics, the world witnessed a miracle. For the first time in history, North Korea and South Korea marched together under a single flag. The song that echoed in the stadium at that moment was not the national anthems of their countries, but their very own Arirang that united them both. At that moment, the eyes of Koreans all around the world overflowed with tears. Today, times have changed. This song, which has found a place on UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage list, now echoes across the world through K-pop and bands like BTS. Even though every region in Korea has its own different rhythms under names like Jungseong Arirang and Miryang Arirang, its soul remains the same. Born in the tears of lava, nurtured by the sweat of farmers, flowing through the blood of warriors, it is an epic that has now become the heartbeat of an entire nation. As long as the world exists, the melody from that mountain slope will never die. Arirang,